Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 33, Unlocking the Difference Between Empathy and Being an Empath. So for most of my life, I've not only received feedback from others that I'm very sensitive, but I'm aware of the fact that I'm an extremely sensitive person when it comes to emotions and sensing energies around me. And I thought I was just extremely empathetic, but it turns out that I am indeed an empath. So I'm going to talk about the difference between having empathy and being an empath today. Distinguishing between these two things can, it's not very complicated. Anyone can cultivate a greater sense of empathy toward others and the world around us, but being an empath is a specific type of sensitivity, of intense feelings, picking up feelings of others and absorbing those feelings and emotions of others. And as an empath, there's steps that we take to kind of protect ourselves from becoming overwhelmed with too much input from the environment around us. So I'm going to talk about just empathy first, okay? The empathy. The key attributes of empathy include these things: understanding of others, comprehending emotions and perspectives and the experiences of others, having a non-judgmental attitude and suspending judgment and just accepting others and their feelings and their experiences as their own, even if they're not in sync with our own life experiences. Using active listening is a form of empathy, where we're listening attentively to fully understand another's perspective. Having compassion and using compassionate responses is also a form of empathy, and we have a desire to support and comfort when it's needed. Setting boundaries to protect our own well-being while still being supportive is a form of empathy, as well as something called cognitive empathy, which is understanding others' perspectives intellectually, even if we don't feel the same emotions that they do about that particular subject matter. And emotional empathy involves sharing and experiencing the emotions of others and possibly having a strong emotional response. We've all had instances in our life where we've felt a strong emotional response to someone else's pain. So those are the basics of empathy. Now I'm going to talk about the characteristics of being an empath. So we have deep emotional sensitivity, and we often feel others' emotions as if they're our own. And what needs to happen in that case is, as an empath, you study and learn how to ground ourselves so that we're not always absorbing what's going on around us. Another characteristic of being an empath would be intuitive awareness and often sensing the underlying emotions and energy in a room or a person without communication. Feeling overwhelmed in crowds. Environments where there's many people with a mixture of emotions can be quite overwhelming for an empath. And after I talk about these characteristics, I'm going to talk about the techniques that empaths use so that we don't become overwhelmed and we're able to move about in society without having to seek solitude, which is the next point, the need for solitude when you're an empath. Well, I've mentioned in my other videos that I do spend a lot of time alone, and there's a reason for that, and it's because I need to recharge, kind of clear out any emotional energies that I may have absorbed, and sort of hit the reset button and get back to my natural state of being. A strong connection to nature is another very important and, for me anyway, a very strong characteristic of being an empath. So feeling a deep restorative connection to nature and finding peace and rejuvenation in natural settings. Another characteristic of being an empath is an aversion to violence and negativity. And we do this. We stay away from shows, news, anything that's projecting violence and negativity in social media in general, whether it's TV or online, watching YouTube videos. I cannot. I can't watch the news. I can't watch movies with violence. it's extremely disturbing, even if I've done the grounding process. But I guess it's just that high sense of sensitivity. So empaths, we also have a strong compassion and a desire to help others, and we feel that it's a big part of our life purpose is to help others. I certainly feel that way. We have a high sensitivity to sensory stimuli, so things like noise, light, smells. These are all aspects of our senses that can become overwhelming. We're just extremely sensitive to those things. And sometimes, and I've experienced this, where we absorb the physical symptoms of someone else's ailment. And that, for me, has come about from just being in close proximity to someone who's not well on a regular basis. And without realizing it, picking up some of the physical symptoms of whatever their illness is. You can catch that's happening, and try some of the exercises and techniques to protect yourself as an empath. And once you go through some of these cleansing and meditative type techniques, then you'll be able to determine whether these physical symptoms are your own, or is it something that you've just picked up from somebody else. Pardon me, my nose is dripping. It's allergies season, everybody. Profound emotional connection and strong bonds and deep, meaningful connections with others is also a nice side effect of being an empath. I'm going to pause just a sec. I'm back. I had to get a tissue. Take care of my droopy nose. Okay, so the next section I'm going to cover is how to protect your energy when you're an empath. Number 1, set clear boundaries. Learn to say no and define your personal space. Number 2, practice grounding techniques. For me, it often has to do with connecting with nature, but this can also be done through meditation and breathing exercises. And I may delve into some of these techniques in another video and explain more in depth how these techniques are accomplished for those of you that may want to try them. Right now I'm just giving you the list of techniques that we use as empath. Visualization is another technique that I use as an empath, where I imagine a protective shield around me and first clear my energy and then imagine a protective shield around me. Number 4 is regular self-care. I definitely practice that daily, whether it's physical activity, trying to eat healthier, getting plenty of rest, and lots of quiet time and solitude. Number 5, limit exposure to negative stimuli. As I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I stay away from any negative media as best I can. Number 6, develop emotional awareness through journaling or even through therapy, to be able to not only tap into and identify your emotional responses, but to determine what is causing these emotional responses. So is it empathy, or are you an empath and picking up someone else's energy? Let's see, number 7, I guess, is where we left off. Energy clearing practices, and that's accomplished through taking salt baths, carrying with you a variety of crystals, through intention and meditation. Mindfulness, staying present and doing regular self-check-ins for our emotional state, to see how we're doing, and especially if we've been out in public in big crowds. Number 9, create a sanctuary to retreat and recharge. Well, I've successfully accomplished that here in my little home. And yeah, it's important to have a space where you feel safe and you can retreat and recharge your energy. And number 10, can't get through an episode without reminding everyone to please seek support and get some counseling and get some professional guidance. So as I said, I'm probably going to do a separate video where I talk about some of these techniques more in detail for those of you who may desire and are curious about how to accomplish some of these things. So this is our episode for today, and I thank you for joining me. I've got another one coming up soon. It's getting to be that busy time of year for musicians, and so I've been keeping busy with a lot of music-related activities and some social activities. So I wasn't able to get 2 videos out this past week, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to stick to it. So hopefully I can rearrange my schedule a little bit so that I can stay true to my YouTube channel along with my other projects as well. I hope you're doing well. I wish you peace, love, and light. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.